Warning, this story contains artistic depictions of sexual conduct. All characters in this story are over the age of 18. Any similarities to real people living or dead are coincidental. Alright, so I chose to stop in the last episode right when Belle had drawn Robin in for a kiss. And it looks like he, in some ways, probably reciprocated that kiss. So, yeah, we're gonna see where this picks up from with starting here. When Belle finally draws back, her lashes fluttering, her lips curve into a mischievous smile. Her face is as pale as ever, not a hint of blush on her cheeks, though she was the one who had instigated the kiss. I'm the one who's embarrassed, breathing heavily, my face burning. If I was any older, I would have had a heart attack. It was wrong. I know kissing her was wrong, and yet, forgive me for the age-old cliche, but at the time, it felt right. So he did reciprocate. But maybe it felt right because I'm a pathetic old man who hasn't been getting enough action from his wife. It doesn't mean much. What man wouldn't want to try to argue that kissing a teenage schoolgirl is in some sense of the word right? I know a lot of people would disagree with that assessment though, particularly the workers at this store who were led to believe that Belle was my daughter. Maybe I can try and backtrack? I could tell them she isn't blood related? Of course not. I'm just her stepfather. Would that make it sound any better? No, but it would sound like a Pornhub special. And he agrees with me. No, by this point, I don't think there's any salvaging the situation. The workers behind the counter really are looking at me now. This isn't just baseless paranoia. It's the unquestionable, unshakable truth. They almost look as surprised as I do, their mouths open. They're not the only ones. The other patrons are staring at me too. Even if I hadn't said Belle was my daughter, my behavior would still be unacceptable. I mean, she's wearing a schoolgirl uniform for Christ's sake. This is bad. Very, very bad. But I don't get to finish my explanation. That's probably a good thing, too. Laughing cheerfully, Belle takes hold of my hand. I oblige. My body feels strangely light, like a hollowed-out pepper. Come on, Dad, let's go. I want to go shopping. You promised you'd pick me out some new clothes, remember? Yeah, of course. I allow myself to be dragged away by the playful devil that is Belle. Not before I lay down a crisp $10 pound note on the table, of course. I may have committed a grave social faux pas, but I kissed my daughter in the middle of an ice cream parlor, complete with tongue, but I'm not a thief. Even I have standards. That was the greatest. Maybe to you, but not to me. I must have looked like I don't even know what I look like. Either a pedophile or a deviant with bizarre sexual fantasies. Maybe both. Again, cue the song by the Police called Don't Stand So Close to Me. Damn, why the hell did you do that? Because it was fun. You're trying to ruin my reputation for fun? Don't be like that, Robin. Belle giggles, brushing a few stray tears from the corner of her eye with her fingertips. You teach music at a primary school. It's not like you have much of a reputation. Well, you might be right there, but still, I'd like to retain what little scraps of dignity I have left. But did you see the looks on their faces? It was amazing. I thought that girl behind the counter was gonna faint. Deriving this much amusement from the suffering of others is a sign of sadism. Well, people from certain cultures do call beings like me demons. Maybe they weren't so far off the mark. Come on, it was all harmless fun. For you, maybe. You're right, I'm sorry. This is very serious. Belle nods soberly, her arms folded, trying to force an expression of contrite guilt. Her eyes are unturned, much like the Virgin Mary, seeking guidance from God. This facade, however, does not last for very long. Her shoulders start shaking within seconds, and laughter begins to bubble from between her pursed lips. She laughs so hard, doubled over, arms around her middle, as though she might explode from the hilarity of it all. She laughs openly, like a small child. Her laughter is without grace, discordant, and jumbled, but it's precisely because her laughter lacks harmony that it is so very charming. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone laugh like that before, with quite that much zeal. Though I'm shaken by the earlier events and my face is still beet red from embarrassment, I soon find myself joining in. I want to be mad at her, but I can't. How could I? It would be impossible, especially when she looks so happy. Ah, I see. Belle points at me, a triumphant smirk on her lips. She wore a similar smirk after she had kissed me, as though marking me as her own personal property, which she probably was. You laughed. I made you laugh. Because the situation is so ridiculous, how can one not but laugh? I know, right? You shouldn't take yourself so seriously, Robin. You'll get wrinkles. I already have wrinkles. I know, but more wrinkles. Belle giggles, pressing her hands against both sides of her face. It's because I prescribed a strict diet of at least one amusing experience per day that my skin doesn't sag, no matter how old I get. I'm several centuries old, and I can still pass as being 16. That's creepy. I roll my eyes, though I can't stop myself from smiling. How does she do it? Dermatologists all over the world are baffled. What's that meant to be? Sounds like it could be some kind of a dumb internet advert. I know the one she's talking about too, sadly. Sorry. You know what the internet is. Well, duh. How would I be able to live in the 21st century if I didn't know what the internet was? I don't know. I thought the digital era might have passed you by since you were busy being a cat. Come on, cut me some slack. I'm a pretty trendy person. I even know how young girls wear their uniforms. Belle strikes a pose, one hand on her hip. Her skirt, still as short as ever, catches in the breeze, fluttering around her thighs. It's a good thing the two of us vacated to this river, only a short walk away from the main shopping center. Got tired of various pedestrians looking us up and down and tutting, no doubt like they were the workers in the ice cream parlor, amused as I was Belle's father. Disgusting. I can just imagine little old ladies thinking as they adjusted their beige handbags around their shoulders, how could a father let his little girl go out dressed like that? I wish I could have explained to them that I've told her to dress sensibly multiple times, but she doesn't listen. Belle's too willy and willful. Though she isn't sporting her fluffy black ears and tails, she really is like a cat. She does whatever she wants. God, Belle. I sigh, running a hand through my hair. What am I gonna do with you? You're impossible. Yep, that's my middle name. Speaking of which, I don't know your last name. You never told me. I pause. And I doubt Belle is your real name either. It isn't, but it's a lot cuter than my true title, and easier to pronounce too. Christ, I hope you're not some kind of a Lovecraftian abomination. Hey, I resent the term abomination. That's discrimination. Discrimination against us non-humans. Discrimination, huh? I didn't know your spirits were all that concerned about being politically correct. Oh, you'd be surprised. Belle smiles. Just stick with Belle. I like the sound of my name when you say it. Plus, it suits you. What do you mean it suits me? You like music, right? Don't you think Belle is cute and musical name? And it's much less obvious than Melody. You think Melly's name is too obvious? It isn't hard to guess one of her parents plays the piano. Let me put it like that. Sorry. I apologize, though I'm not sure who I'm apologizing to. Belle for being so transparent, Melody for not giving her a name which, with the gift of hindsight, turned out to be so incredibly unfitting. I guess I've never been very good at naming things. The goldfish I had when I was a kid, Bubbles and Goldie, are testament to that. All the more reason we should stick to Belle. Let's keep things simple. Right, simple. I can do simple. I groan, burying my face into my hands. Simple? Yeah, right. My life has been anything but ever since I had the misfortune of running into Belle. No, maybe it started earlier than that. I have the vague feeling that ever since Great Aunt Clarice brought that awkward and aloof Belle from the pet shelter, my life has never been quite the same. That kiss in the ice cream parlor right now, though, was just the tip of the iceberg. People always say black cats are unlucky. I thought that was a silly superstition, but now I'm inclined to agree with them. Oh my god, what if anybody in the ice cream parlor knew me?